What is up, YouTube? It's me, your boy Michael, here with another episode of our Let's Play of Shadowrun Returns. Haha! Yeah. So I'm doing a bunch of these recordings all in one day. The last one, I, uh, I did in one day. I think that at the time you guys are seeing this, that's probably last Friday's recording, the upload of last Friday. So this is going to be releasing on Sunday, sometime during the day, uh, and it's good. I gotta say, I am a fan of food, as any of you who have seen my Shockman Eats video will know. I have to say, I've been on a good lord, I'm popular. I am on a I'm on a low sodium diet with from my nutritionist, and I hadn't had Panda Express for the better part of 2 months. I just had it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so salty. I did not realize just how much MSG and how much crap is in that stuff. It's flavorful, but not in a good way. And as much as I love Chinese food, I am spoiled now for wanting low sodium foods. I enjoy good healthy food, and I encourage anybody out there. I mean, obviously, do you. You do what you want to do and be happy with it. As long as you're happy, that's what matters. But take care of yourselves. Don't put too much salt and stuff. We already have so much salt in everything else we eat on a daily basis. You don't need to add stuff to it. So, with that being said, and with this rant over, let's get into it. Last time we left off, we had just gotten back from rescuing Coyote, and we are now getting ready to go and talk to Mr. whatever his name is. I think it was like Mr. Wasn't Mr. Clue, it was Mr. Delilah. That's what it was. Because we have some gems for him. So, but I looked it up, and I think we have to, go down and talk to Coyote first. So let's do it. Nice. Make it quick. I need to operate. Thanks for helping me out back there. Looks like you could use a hand. Ouch. Bad joke right now. She looks down at her mangled arm. Okay, folks, I'm going to have to ask you to sit in the waiting room. Watch some Trivid or something. This young lady and I have work to do. Mrs. Kubota never said what kind of cyberarm she'd pay for. I want something badass. Got one with a laser inside? You'll take what I give you, lady. Now, let's have a look at your face. Leave it. Excuse me? Sorry about that, guys. Had to cough. Coyote. I earned this face by being stupid. I'm gonna keep it. End story. Whatever you say, kid. With one swift move, she sinks a syringe in Coyote's thigh. Nighty-night. Alright. Coyote looks both better and worse than last you saw her. All the gaping holes are plugged, and she's sporting a shiny new cyberarm. But now that the adrenaline has worn off, it's clear she needs some rest. Good morning. Thanks to the miracle of modern science combined with Doc Castle's magical healing powers, I'm almost as good as new. Better, really. Nice arm. Thanks. Mrs. Kubota will have me working it off for the rest of my life. She notices your expression. You look like you've got something on your mind. I have some questions. She flashes you a puzzled look. What kind of questions? About Sam Watts. Sam Watts? What about him? Sam's dead. Holy dreck! Sam. I can't... Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to mute the server that I just joined on Discord. Holy dreck. Sam. I can't say I'm surprised. He was on a downward spiral for a long time. What can I tell you? Tell me about Sam. I hear you liked him. I did. He made me laugh. No one else seemed to like Sam's jokes, but I did. Did you guys jam? Whoa! She smiles at Paco. Easy, lover. No, it wasn't like that. We were friends. I guess I knew him the best of everyone here. Sorry he's gone. You served Sam the night he died. What do you remember about that night? It was a pretty strange, pretty average night. Regular crowd, as I remember. Sam was drinking with a guy named Armitage. Jake Armitage? Yeah, you know him? Met him. He's a charmer, too. She bites her lower lip. I like gingers. Anyway, Jake and Sam were having a few. Well, Jake was having a few. Sam was tossing him back, but good. That doesn't make any sense. Eventually, he got loud, the way he sometimes did when he mixed drinking with who knows what, and Mrs. Kubota wanted him ejected. Mr. Clue wasn't around. I can't remember why, so she asked Jake to do the honors. Jake dragged him out the back into the alley, and that's the last time I saw him. You said he got loud. Do you remember what he was saying? She thinks. Standard Sam Dreck. How he grew up rich and didn't deserve this, how he hated his mother and how he loved his mother. It was pretty pathetic stuff. Did Sam have any enemies? She thinks. Enemies? That's hard to say. Sam partied hard, and when he did, he ran his mouth off pretty good. Got his ass kicked on more than one occasion. But no, I don't think he had any enemies, at least none that I'm aware of. Where did Sam live? On the streets, mostly. He'd occasionally convince someone to let him flop on their couch, but he'd always overstay his welcome and get kicked out after a few days. Sometimes I'd sneak him down here so we could crash in one of the bunks. He used one the night before I saw him last. How bad was his drinking? If it was just the drinking, it would have been bad. But Sam wasn't the monogamous type. He dabbled in everything: booze, chips, drugs. He loved the nitro, whatever he could get his hands on. It wasn't always like that, but once he got sick, he started using more and more stuff to try and forget about it. Sam was sick? Dying, actually. Didn't you know? Yeah, everyone could tell. You could just look at him and see he was a walking corpse. It had to be the drinking. Then he disappeared for a while, and one day he came back all better. Looked good, even. All better. Just like that. He said his mom helped him out. Never said how, though. Thanks, Coyote. Now I need you two to do something for me. What do you need, babe? I need you to talk to Mr. Delilah for me about the Royale run. He's usually upstairs. There we go. Tell him that I didn't get the gems. Maybe I can take another run at it when I recover. I will. I have the gems. The bunk is a mess and reeks of booze. Searching through the sheets, blankets, and pillow, you find an old photograph that has seen a lot of wear. Look at the image on the photo. The picture is of a blonde boy and girl, both about age 14, sitting on a dock on the edge of a lake. They appear to be twins. The boy has his arm tight around the girl's shoulders and is mugging for the camera. The girl is planting a kiss on his cheek while making rabbit ears behind his head with her fingers. Look, check the back of the photo. Written in a woman's hand are the words, Sam and Jessica, Lake Sammamish State Park, summer 2040. Look at the photo. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, it is about time to get some new equipment. Alright. There he this Mr. Delilah. Got him. Mr. Delilah looks small and tough, with an untraceable shoddy on his back and a heavy vest under his trench coat. He's got the air of someone who gets things done and occasionally does them himself. He might be an ex-runner, one of the rare ones smart enough to move over to management when he felt his reflexes slowing down. What do you want? Mr. Delilah, we have business to discuss. What business? I've got no business with you. We're with Coyote. She's indisposed at the moment. At the mention of Coyote, he finally gives you his full attention. Why didn't you say so? Coyote is late and my client is getting anxious. Where is she? Downstairs, trying on a new arm. Your run went south for her. No kidding. Huh. Well, whatever. She's tough. She'll pull through. So, who are you two? D-Shock. He's Paco. Great. We're all introduced. Now, give me my stones. Back to the pebble with the runes on it and give him the rest. In an instant, there's a jeweler's scope on his eye, moving quickly through what appear to be the most valuable stones. He stops when he can't find what he's looking for. He glares at you furious and throws the rest of the gems in your face. It's not here. What? He exhales and slowly wags his head as he speaks. Let me explain the way the world works to you. I hire someone to do a job, they do it. Then they get paid, and we part happy. Now, you have something that I paid Coyote to get for me. That makes it mine. So you give me the pebble, and we won't have any more work for Johnny Clean. Was there another stone, like a pebble, some sort of letters on it? I forgot. Here you go. In your line of work, a short memory can be an asset. This was not one of those times. Hand over the pebble. Coyote may not have told you, but the penalty for being late on the delivery was no payment. But I'm feeling magnanimous tonight, so you guys can keep the gems I threw in your damn face. Mr. Delilah looks you up and down, takes you all in, smiles to himself. Listen, you look like the sort of man who might run a crew of your own one day. Might need a little talent. When that happens, you come to me. I'll set you up. Looks like you impressed him. I know a fence for those gems. Van Grass, follow me. We've already met Van Grass in the last episode. Which is going to be nice, because we need some cash. Van Grass is fiddling with his cyber eye while noodling on his PDA. You're back! Still busy? What's your story? We need to find some stones. You the right guy? Stones? I don't know. Might be. Let me see them. You hear the servos in Van Grass's cyber eye whir as a magnifying lens slips into position. He bends his head over the stones for 2 seconds, maybe less. Huh. Where'd you get this dreck? A gumball machine? I'll give you 1,000 for him. Sounds good to me. Pay me. Done. Give me your cred stick. Perfect. How much cash do we have now? We now have 2508. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs and we're going to pick up 2 new weapons. Theodore Buster Gruberman is a well-groomed orc, dressed with the precision that suggests the straight lines of a military officer's uniform. His hair is cropped short, high and tight, and as they say, and the neatness he presents is only compromised by the uneven tusks protruding from his mouth. The only other defect in this picture of perfection is the man's cybernetic right arm, which is obvious enough to be noticeable, but not so obvious as to ruin the line of his suit. When he speaks, the orc's voice is soft and thoughtful. He talks almost exclusively in numbers, calibers, ranges, rounds per second, arc of fire, razoring factor, tensile strength, and, of course, price. Bunker Buster Gruberman at your service. Friends call me Buster. I also answer to Sergeant, Sir, or even Theodore on occasion. Anytime you're on the market for firearms, ammunition, or ordnance, I'm your man. How can I help you? Let me take a look at what you've got. Alright, let's see. Alright. Capacity is 4. Damage is 10. Alright. Let's get one of these. Let's get one of these. One of these, one of these, and one of these. Perfect. Confirm. Nice. Confirm. Nothing right now, thanks. Alright. Alright. Oh, Jernan. Eric Marsman. Let's see. Nah, we'll do that another time. Alright, let's go down here. In Shadowrunner circles, the term doctor, air quotes, is often used quite liberally to describe any sawbones with a needle and thread. But in the case of the Union's resident medical expert, nothing could be further from the truth. The safe house boasts a fully equipped medical suite, complete with shamanic fetishes. This is sixth world medicine at its highest caliber. The doctor herself is an unassuming sort, perhaps the type to go unnoticed entirely, if not for the sprightly spirit perched on her shoulder, like her own personal gargoyle. The spirit's burning eyes follow you constantly, even as the doctor's own eyes are buried in her charts. However, she does look up long enough to acknowledge your approach. I'm Dr. Castle. I understand you were instrumental in bringing Coyote back to us. Thank you for that. And I suppose you were the... We already know that she was the one who patched her up. Null Sheen. Now, fixing up her arm, that was a piece of work. Surprisingly routine, as it so happens. She notes you eyeballing the facilities. I can tell you're surprised to find a full-service med suite under a dive bar in a slum. Don't be. This is a Shadowrunner bar, after all. For a purveyor of cyberware and trauma kits, there is no better place to set up practice. I patch runners up, install and maintain their cyberware, and provide medical supplies for their runs. I may not be as mobile as Doc Wagon, but I'm the next best thing. Can I help you with anything? Not right now. Let's go back to Coyote. You're back. I think the highlights of the Wolves game will be on soon. Want to take a load off and watch with me? I found something in Sam's bunk, in the bunk Sam was using. Yeah? Great. What is it? A photo. Did you know Sam had a twin sister? Yeah, I did. He mentioned her once or twice, but it didn't sound like they got along too well, if I'm being honest. She thinks. He was rambling on about her the last time I saw him. By that point, he was completely gone. I really couldn't follow what he was saying, but he sounded so miserable. Your comlink chips, and the screen shows John Dresden, the coroner from Organ Grinders. He doesn't look happy. Dresden, you don't look so good. Never mind that. I'm fine. Listen, kid. I'm at the NTSB investigation facility down on the docks with the corpse of what looks like another Ripper victim. If you want to check this out, I would get here fast, before McCluskey does. Thanks for the call. On my way. The image of your on your PDA dissolves as the call ends. Another Ripper murder. Where? The docks. I've got to go. Okay, listen. I want to help. You dragged me out of the Royale before something bad happened. Worse than getting my arm torn off, and Sam was my friend. You head to the docks, and I'll see if I can track down Sam's sister, Jessica. She might be of help to us. Thanks. I appreciate the help. Alright. Alright. Let's see what we got. Let's see. We're done for now, Buzz. Alright. Alright. Take a cab to the South Seattle docks? Yes, please. Leaving the Seamstress Union behind, you head to the docks. The Ripper killed Sam, and maybe he or she slipped up with his latest victim, left some useful evidence maybe. Only one way to find out. South Seattle's your typical industrial area, grit, grime, and gray. The rain doesn't help matters any. Layers of dirt mixed with abandoned wood pallets, repurposed into makeshift furniture for the day workers. Garbage collects in the gutters of the broken down street. Disreputable is the district's middle name. Your destination, the National Transportation Safety Board warehouse, is located on a small strip of dock towards the less maintained end of the waterfront. Despite the presence of those who linger in such places, it's quiet as you approach the gate. Continue. A little bit of lag there for a second. Guard looks bored. He toys with his gun absent-mindedly, like he might shoot something on a whim just to watch it die. Hey, you're about to trespass on corporate property. You looking to get dusted, street scum? I'm working with the coroner, Bronze. Open the gate. Sure you are. And I'm Loftwear, King of the Dragons. Beat it. Fuck you. Alright, so let's pick this up. Who raised ya, pack of wolves? That their ladder is rightfully mine. Who'll pay him? Can I borrow it for a few minutes? 5, eh? Sure. Maybe that noodle machine is still working. Alright, we gotta come down here to the streetwalker. Hey, you looking for a good time? Not me, for a friend of mine. I needed to have some fun with that guard up by the fence around the corner. She looks at you knowingly. Alright, 20 buys you a 5-minute distraction. Then I've got to get back to work and earn some real no-yen. Alright. Here we go. Let's go. Perfect. Nice. 13. Cool, let's spend some karma. Alright, we're going to bring up our body by 1. And then we're going to bring up our quickness by 1. Which leaves us with 2 left. We don't have much else. Let's bring up our dodge by 2. There we go. Perfect. Nice. We're about to transition to a new location. Continue? Yes. Yes. Inside the large gray warehouse inside the large gray warehouse is as typical as the outside. High ceilings adorned with girders and rickety catwalks top a huge utilitarian room. Concrete and steel walls meet a concrete floor. This is a place for storing things and nothing more. Despite the quiet on the outside, the inside is a hornet's nest of Lone Star officers going about their business. In the center of the activity is the Emerald City Ripper's latest victim. With uniforms everywhere, no one stops you at the door. It seems this case hasn't leaked to the press yet. Lone Star or no, you've got a job to do. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's go talk to Agira. You again. How'd you find out about this murder? The press hasn't even picked it up yet. I read some tea leaves. Magic is real, you know. Check the attitude at the door, punk. Lone Star still has jurisdiction on this crime scene. We've gone through the researcher's computer, and I have suspicions that this is a copycat crime. The victim worked here at the NTSB warehouse as a black box researcher. NTSB? The National Transportation Safety Board. This warehouse is used to go over the wreckage from plane crashes to try and determine what happened. The Vic was in charge of their latest, most high-priority investigation at the moment. We've gone through the victim's computer, and his case notes indicate he was selling secrets. Idiot kept records. Scientists don't make good criminals. Alright. Tell me about it. Some runner like you probably offed him to cover up his corp master's involvement and tried to make it look like a Ripper killing. Here's the office key. Check it out for yourself if you want. Sure. I can do that. Alright. I'll leave the computer. Let's see. Inspect the toothbrush. Blue toothbrush is still wet from being used. It smells of mint and cigarettes. This appears to be the smell of the victim's locker. The door is slightly ajar. Inside you see several of the dead man's personal items. Inspect the comb. The comb is black plastic and has some wiry gray hair stuck in it. Leave the locker. D-Shock! Still working for the dead man, huh? Haha! As you can see, we've got another Ripper victim on our hands. Looks like business is good for Delilah Morgue these days. Ha! Yes. Yes, indeed. The victim's male, mixed Native American descent, age 38. Based on the condition of the body, it looks like he was killed around 2 in the morning. Cause of death, unknown. Several internal organs were removed from his body after death. Quite gruesomely, I might add. I'm not sure if the killer even knew what they wanted before they started cutting. Not much else to tell just yet, really. He does have a lot of pre-existing scar tissue, so he probably had a major surgery at some point in recent history. Unfortunately, with the organs gone, I can't determine the nature of the surgery. Any idea which organ the Ripper was after this time? Well, the killer definitely took the lungs. The more I look at it, though, the other missing organs may have just been eviscerated within the chest cavity. Is McCluskey getting any closer to a suspect? McCluskey couldn't find his ass with both hands. Don't tell him I said that, though. How's Officer Agira doing on the case? He seems like a real go-getter. Agira would love to solve it before McCluskey and get his gold detective shield. Plus, he'd love to see McCluskey suck it in front of his superiors. He's already tried to bribe me to keep information from McCluskey and slip it to him. I'm inspired by their tireless pursuit of justice. Did you take the money? He grins from ear to ear. Do you have any idea how much this job pays these days, sir? I don't think Agira's officer's salary is going to do much to seduce me into helping him. Sounds like the Ripper is taking a different trophy from each victim. Sam's liver, this guy's lungs. Any theories? Sorry, I don't do theories. I'm just a scientist who happens to prefer dead people. However, while there was massive damage to the chest cavity, I can see that the victim's lungs were transplants, which is interesting since another victim's missing heart was also a transplant. Granted, modern medicine has made organ transplants relatively easy, but it is an odd coincidence. But as a scientist, it's just that, a coincidence. This is only the third body I've personally examined. One of our other branch managers handled the other two. If I find them that more of the victims had organ transplants, I'll let you know. Who is that woman over there? No clue. She just showed up. Next of kin, I think. I'm gonna take a look around. Good luck out there. Alright, so let's go and talk to Shannon Hapsky. You're not a cop. She looks up, watching you warily. I'm independent. What's your relationship to the dead men? The suspicion in her voice and eyes departs almost instantly when the subject turns to the deceased. He's my brother. I've been trying to speak with him, but I'm afraid his spirit is too disoriented by his recent journey to answer me. You're a shaman? Yes, for all the good it's doing me. If I could just make contact, I might be able to deliver justice and allow my brother's spirit to rest. Were there any other witnesses? Not so far as I can tell. Not among the living, anyway. The realization then dawns, bringing the light back into her eyes. My brother's spirit may not be alone here this night. She closes her eyes and concentrates, droning a low chant you can barely hear. Yes, there are others. Other spirits who may be of help. Her features harden in frustration as if she's searching for something that remains elusive. Sighing, she opens her eyes and fixes you with a stare. But I can't do it alone. What do you need? This warehouse contains the spirits of plane crash victims trapped between worlds. They wish to help. They wish to be heard. And I think they have something to say about my brother's murder. Lone Star won't let me in there, but you seem to have the run of the place. If you can find personal items that belong to the victims, I believe that I can summon a spirit to talk with us. I need at least 2 such objects. Can you find them for me? I'll do what I can. Perfect. Alright. There's a large pile of old shoes on the ground next to the airplane seats. They could be discarded luggage or possibly the shoes worn by the occupants on the plane at the time of the crash. Turning to the shoe pile, you find nothing interesting about the shoes in the pile. Alright. Let's see. It's hard to say whether this is a heap of items to dig through the trash. Inspect the earring. Inspect the dented lunchbox. Inspect the cred stick. Nice. Nice. So we found one. Let's see if we can find another. poster depicts a svelte young woman posing with an assault rifle. You don't need to go right now. Alright. Let's see what we can find, shall we? Expect to come. Nice. Leave the locker. Nice. Find 2 haunted objects. Let's go talk to Miss Hapsky. Yes, here they are. You hand her the objects you've found. She closes her eyes and chants over them for a time. When her eyes open again, they are filled with tears. Thank you. These items are all that I need. It shouldn't take me long to... The hell is all this? Officer Agira trails after the detective, only meeting your eyes for a moment. She's the victim's sister, sir. This is a crime scene, officer, not some Salish drum circle. Isn't it standard procedure to contact the next of kin? Ma'am, consider yourself contacted. Now get the fuck out. Come on. If we stay much longer, I'm liable to do something I'll regret, or worse, something I'd enjoy. All right. That man is an ass. She stares daggers at McCluskey from across the warehouse. But there's no helping it now. I should just be grateful you were able to collect these items before those clods carted everything off. Can we still summon the spirit? Not from here, I'm afraid. Spirits such as these have domains to which they are anchored. We need to get back in there. We'll come back later, once the coast is clear. I can't stand the waiting, but I don't see any other choice. You're sure you're up for this? It may be a rabbit hole, but I have to get to the bottom of it. Whatever your reasons, I thank you. Now, since we have the time, we should probably enlist some help. They may post security overnight. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you know where to find the kinds of people we need. You could say that. Good. I'll put up the money if you find the bodies. She produces a fistful of crumpled nuyen from inside a leather pouch, starts to count it out, apparently 4,000 nuyen, which is pretty impressive, then shoves the whole wad to you. Meet me back here at midnight. The spirits will be strong then. Alright, guys. That's going to about do it for us for this session. I know it's been a slightly shorter one than we normally do, but we have gotten to a good point. We're about to go into the next portion of this section of the game. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. Make sure you leave a comment below telling me what you like about my videos, what you like about my channel, and what you want to see me play next. Also, check out my Patreon, where you can get access at patreon.com/dmshockman, where you can get access to exclusive content and much more. And last but not least, keep it real, keep it safe, keep it healthy. And until next time, guys, I'm Michael Shockman. I've been your host and commentator, and we'll see you guys again soon in the Barrens. Later, guys.